One of the things that, there we go. One of the things that really got our cameraman was the fact that in Mexico, there's a difference. There's many differences. But here, you know, we say the director or the assistant director will holler, "Quiet on the set, this is a take." Then everybody settles down. In Mexico, the word is silencio. But everybody gets into the act. Everybody may be talking on the set and so forth and so on. All of a sudden, the assistant director says, "Silencio!" There's a momentary lull. And then everybody on the set takes turns saying, "Silencio! Silencio!" And this goes on for about 2 minutes before they finally get it quiet. But they do. In addition to this cabaret sequence where an accidental invention of the strip takes place, there are a number of other high points in the Viva Maria film. It's a cleverly written farce comedy. Regis' role of Maria II, a young lady brought up by her father to be a saboteur, leads to hilarious circumstances. She tries to blow up and shoot up everything in sight. They capture an army train, attack the presidential palace, overcome an army of opponents. Now, these are just some of the minor things that happen along the way. Of course, the striptease scene is certainly one of the high points for the Bardot fans. The Bardot figure and her reputation for doing the unexpected on a set like this could prove especially interesting to her legion of fans. Wherever she goes, all eyes are on her. After the preliminary shots of the skirts, petticoats, blouses, and so on have been taken, the time comes to determine what will be the final costume of the strip routine. The girls, director Mal, and just about everybody on the set gave opinions. How about this, says Bardot, not bad, so everybody's taking turns. That looks pretty good. He says, not bad, senor, I like that. How about this, says Moreau? That's not bad either. Indecision. Not bad, no. There seems to be concern. But you must remember, that cast out there was being paid for this. Now here's a dice scene. This is a look at that on the far right. It looks familiar. What's his name? Seems to me we've seen him here on the set. But the casting in this picture is just marvelous because such expressive faces and eyes. Whoever did it, I don't know if it was Mal or whoever it was, is to be commended because the cast of characters is fabulous. But now in this dice scene, the boys in the back room, or in the back of the room actually out in front, but they are tearing it up a little. And it's the time for the great Rodolfo to come on stage. He's the magician who does the tricks. Actually, there's the Rodolfo, the actor. However, the fellow who really does the tricks is a stand-in, a real magician who does it. And as you'll see, and Mal's directing here now, the magician will take coins from this woman's head, from her ears, eyes, nose, mouth. Coins are flowing out of her. All of a sudden, the fellows back in the room, back of the room, the dice game, see this woman with all the money, and wait to see what happens. Not only when they make their appearance, and they're getting ready to go right now, countdown begins. There they go. They charge up on stage, pick up the gal, turn her upside down, and try to shake that money out. Get rid of that money. Now there's an acrobatic team called the Turcos there, and they come to the rescue. There's the big Turk. Now watch the way he picks up this fella. There's where he's going to throw him. Now he picks him up, and he, look at that. That wasn't exactly the way they had it planned. He threw him head first right into that floor. See? And the fellow who was thrown was one of the Mexican extras there. He's not a stuntman or anything. So they try it again. This time he's going to get thrown, and a little better. Not head first, at least. The big Turk is going to try and be a little more gentle and discreet, but he misses the thing and throws him right through the drum. And the music goes on, but they got a take. There's a lot of things that went on with this picture that should make it a real entertainment plus. Not only for the fine cast, but the great direction and the gist of the story, too. It's a cute story, a fun story. Working with Brigitte Bardot, according to Jean Moreau, is stimulating. She has a very strong personality, according to Miss Moreau, and this brings out the strength in oneself, almost in self-protection, sort of an artistic challenge. And Mal, the director, says Bardot and Moreau are good for each other. Now, this may sound strange, but I think Bardot is a first-rate actress, if only people would stop thinking of her figure. It is not easy to do, but he certainly should know what he's talking about. He's a fine director. Whatever else one may say of Bardot, it is apparent that everyone seems to light up when she appears on the set. Most people like to feel she is their friend. Our observation would be that she works hard when she's called on to do the job, and when she's free to go, she likes to do just that. She loves to get away from it all, or at least get away from the constant peering eyes of the public, and you can't blame her. While on this Mexican filming venture, she spent much of her time in her private villa in the nearby town of Cuernavaca. Although she is certainly one of the most photographed women in the world, it's been said that she has no love for photographers. However, we did not find this true. She was very gracious, very nice. Well, it's time to find out what costume the girls will wear to conclude the striptease. These shots will tell you. Pantaloons, a discreet way to finish a very well-conceived and somewhat touchy subject to some people. The pantaloons give plenty of visual impact to the viewer, yet doesn't ruffle the minds of those less prone to accept the Bardot figure for public exposure. Now, this is not really where the filming ends. This was only one version of the striptease. Director Mal had still other ideas for the scene and was ready to experiment still further. But it is coming close to the end. Speaking of the director, Louis Mal, our producer talked to him about making movies in Hollywood, and his reaction was that it might be difficult for him to accept the Hollywood method of making films, where everything is done on a strict, departmentalized basis. He likes to be able to create as he shoots, as he does in these scenes. Mal personally came to Hollywood to meet with United Artists executives in preparing for Viva Maria. He was even involved in the arrangements for camera equipment to be shipped to Mexico City for the film. Brigitte Bardot. Bardot, the sex symbol of the age, adds her pixish charm and flair for off-the-cuff comedy to the role of Maria II. For the two leading ladies, it was almost like a movie plot in itself, just the behind-the-scenes aspects of it. And some will say that Bardot is the real star of the film. But there are just as many others that will definitely tell you Jean Moreau won the big tug-of-war in Mexico. We say it was a delightful experience for all parties concerned, especially for our producer, cameraman Rick Spalla, who filmed these exclusive behind-the-scenes reports.